Gervon, big up. Carlton, Miguel. We got all these faithfuls. Mr. Swavey, Jody is on. Jason, Mosquito. Otis, big up. Yeah, we got all these faithfuls that I really appreciate. We appreciate. Folks, you know what I find? I find that more people watch Trudy than they watch my things. I don't blame you though. I don't blame you guys because I'd be watching too. Okay, so let's see if we're gonna get anybody that comes back for the last part of this, which would be about rewarding your workers so they stay committed to what you're doing. Yeah. Thanks, Ransbury. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to, what we're trying to do is we've made our share of mistakes. And I don't think I've been taught through my years of, working with people that you don't need to make the same mistake the man made 2 years ago or a year ago. I've been talking to professionals in my other business about how to avoid certain mistakes. I remember my first ever big project, and I sat with an elder dude. I sat with Luge one night at the hotel bar, and Luge just walked me through everything. I had no clue what I was getting into. I had no idea what I was getting into, and this gentleman sat me down and said, "Yo, you in for a rough ride. But here's what you need. Here's what you need to do. Here's some files. Here's some Excel sheets. Here's some things. Like, stay up all night and get through this thing because you can't, there's no messing this up." Okay, so let's get into, now that you have a worker or workers that they're clicking. You and them are clicking. You got them doing the things the way you want them to do it. You guys are working as a team. You can rely on them. The commitment is there. How do you reward them? How do you make sure that they feel like a part of it as you've been telling them they're a part of it? For us, one major thing is empowerment. I incentivize these accomplishments, and I give crews the right to make decisions on things. And if he makes the wrong decision, we all suck it up. I'm not going to turn around and say, "Yo, Star, like, really, Brethren, you made that decision. Look how much you got." No. You make the decision, Cruz. Whatever the outcome is, we all learn from it and move on. Right? We actually have crews go buy goats. I'm like, dude, just go deal with it. Tell me what it is. This is how we approach it. Go look at it. Go tell me if it makes sense. And we take care of it. People come here doing interviews, doing video vlogs and all them things. I'm like, you can't talk to just me. You got to talk to Cruz. Because half the things that you want to know, Cruz is the one who execute them. I'm not going to take all the shine. Trudy's not taking all the shine. People show up at the gate. I'm like, Cruz, yo, let's go talk to these people. And sometimes I see it on his face. He's like, why do I need to go? You're the boss. But no, you come. And when they ask me certain questions, I defer to Cruz. I'm like, yo, Cruz, what you got in there? You know what I mean? Because we're all a team. A man needs to know that Cruz has some power around here. You can't go around him. You know what I mean? You can't go around him. You're not gonna just say, yo, me just talk to the boss. No, if crews tell you that's what it is, that's what it is. So empowerment is one. Rewarding them. You know what I mean? Like, we have a thing where on a Friday evening, if they're not in a rush to go a gal bush, if they're not in a rush to go gal bush, then we sit on the tail of the van or thing and we have a drink and we talk about everything that has nothing to do with work. You know what I mean? We talk about everything that has nothing to do with work. We don't talk about work. We talk about girls. We talk about dance. We talk about music. We talk about all kinds of crap. Just to let them know that, you know what? Work time done, we just like a whole little vibe and talk about whatever. This is not a boss to whatever thing, because I want them to feel welcome. I want them to feel that I appreciate them. Not just giving them a check or whatever. I appreciate them. I thank them at that moment. I thank them. That, thanks for the help, Richard. Thanks for everything. And they move on. You know what I mean? And Trudy bakes, and it's more important for them forget them cupcake or them banana bread or whatever. If I eat an extra cupcake, she's all up in her feelings because it's cutting into her workers' cupcakes. You know what I mean? If she makes gelato, there's a certain amount of gelato that got to go to the workers. Like, nothing happens around here that don't involve them. Seriously. Isn't that true? Nothing happens around here that doesn't involve crews and in crew. Seriously. And that's a part of us letting them know that we appreciate what they do. And when I'm hard on him, he can't get up in his feelings about it. Because the next day or the next moment, it's all good. When it's work time, when it's serious time, he understands it's serious time. And when it's done, it's done. Don't get up in your feelings. When him come to me and tell me, say my decisions, them no right, I can't get all up in my feelings. I have to listen to him. I have to listen to him. And sometimes I try to spin it, but him say, you can't spin this. I'm sorry, you can't spin this one. So we end up being a team, like a family. Crews have our little party up in yard, and we drive, go up there. We up in our hill up, so we drive, go up there and hang out with them for a couple hours and try to get back here before curfew. Curfew was like, 10 o'clock? Yeah, and we went up there, go hang out with him. And it's funny because he bought us drinks. It's like the next day, I'm like, dude, didn't I leave a tab? It's like, no, I took care of it. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, we're getting some heavy rain. So we got zinc roof, so it's going to get loud. So that's the last part of my whole thing is let your workers feel like they're part of what you're trying to do. They will show more commitment, they'll show more loyalty, and they will protect you. They will protect what they're doing, the operation, with everything because of how you treat them. You know what I mean? How you let them teach them things. Teach them how you conduct your business. How you would like to see them develop. Like teach them things. Like for Cruz was riding this bike when we met him. The bike no license. Him no have a real license. Him have some learner's thing. One day I just said, yo dude, like really? I'm like, whatever you need to do, go license the bike. Go get your license and license the bike. How we can help you, get it done. If you need to borrow some money, I don't care, get it done. I don't want to get that call that you're locked up or you're this or you're that because of crap like that. He went, he got it done. Got him in bank account, all that stuff. As a young youth, he got everything sorted. And now I hear him telling his boys that he's working with Like, yo, you gotta do it, bro. You gotta go. There's no excuse. I will take you on the back of the bike to go do it. Now he's handing down that knowledge, telling them the benefits of doing it. You know, I hear him telling them like, yo, when I say police, but don't even look for them, but just go through. Once upon a time, I have to take bush. I see with my own two eyes where I go down on one farm in Islington, and Cruz is behind me and in back. And when I get to the crossroad, I spot some police and I start pump my brake for making know say police. When I look back in my rear view, I don't see Cruz. I'm like, how are you there? And we go through and get to the man farm. About 10 minutes, 5 minutes or something later, Cruz show. I'm like, dude, where do you go? He's like, yo, I spot them before you see them. I turn back and go around at some back bush and go through. So then I said, yo, you can't be doing that no more. Like, no, dude, you can't do that. You need to fix that. And I help him. We help him fix it. And now he might tell him, Bridget, and say, yo, I'm Mr. Police, but don't tell me. Just go through. I'm like, doesn't it feel good to know you don't have to worry about them something? He's like, yo, you know, Mr. Ria, true, you know. I couldn't tell last time I see a police and I have to worry about nothing. I just go about my business. I'm like, there you go. And it didn't take much to get it done. You know what I mean? And I teach him. We teach him every day how, like, save your money. Don't waste money unnecessarily. You know, a young youth, so we know him have to do in dance thing and in party thing. But I'm constantly telling him, you gotta save money, you gotta be responsible, you gotta do X, Y, Z. And I know he appreciate it because he may not say it at that moment, but a few days later I hear him come back and he might find him own little way of saying, yo, you gotta tell me it's a straight thing in there, right? You know. So you have to show them that you're also, it's really important to you to see them succeed, to see them be a better person. I tell Cruz and them, I'm like, when you leave here for whatever reason, you should leave a better person than when you came here. You should be in a better position. You know what I mean? We're gonna do food handlers permit next week. We're paying for everybody food handlers permit. You can leave the next day, but him have a food handlers permit when you can go work on a restaurant or whatever. Leave here a better person. Yeah, and I'm encouraging him to get his butcher's license because he's gonna play a major part of when we start our abattoir. He's gonna be the guy. Whether he's doing it himself or he's supervising it, he's gonna play a major part. I tell him already, the sky is the limit, bro. The sky is the limit. You can achieve whatever you wanna achieve as long as you commit to it. You can commit to it. So it's hard to find workers like that. But in order to find them, you got to start at the top of my discussion of vetting them, asking the right questions, making sure they fit. Do not push your agenda without realizing that the person is not fit for your agenda. You know what I mean? So Lincoln is telling me to make sure Cruz invests. Yeah, tell them all the time. You know what I mean? We all have conversation about Sajiko and Marita all the time. You know what I mean? You know, so you gotta, if you want somebody to put in as much time and effort to help you build your dreams, you gotta show that it's important for them to meet their dreams, to realize their dreams. You know what I mean? I don't know if Cruz wants to be in this sector or on this farm for a very long time. But what I do know is that while he's here, I'm gonna pour everything in him. You know, I'm gonna pour all my knowledge. And I don't have a lot of knowledge about farming, but I have a lot of knowledge about life and about being a businessman and about working with people. You know, I've been blessed to work with people from all walks of life around the world. You know what I mean? And one thing I've learned is humility and understanding people is what's important, especially when you're dealing with people that are functioning cognitively or less educated than you are. You gotta humble yourself and deal with them on the level that they understand. You know, you gotta be mindful of that. You know what I mean? A lot of farmers are working with people who, I don't even know if some of them finish high school. I know once upon a time with a shy to ask a man, yo, what is your education level? No, I'm not afraid to ask. I just ask straight and explain to them that, yo, I need to know, because I need to know how I'm going to communicate with you. I don't want to give you a task in a certain, and use certain words that you don't understand. I want to be able to break it down to ABC if I need to. Because, not because a man's not educated doesn't mean he's not smart. You know what I mean? Education for us in Jamaica, once upon a time, that was a luxury. You know what I mean? So you're dealing with people, especially in rural areas, a lot of them don't finish high school. You know what I mean? A lot of them families couldn't afford to let them finish high school, so them pull them and let them go work on the farm or something. You know what I mean? Or them quit school because it's too hard and them are, you know what I mean, when it comes to affording it, and just go start a hustle. So you have to be, you know, humble and figure out a way to communicate with them. And once you're able to do that, then you'll get more out of them, you know? But the big thing for me is, off the top, be able to judge the person that's sitting in front of you wants to work on the farm. And it's, you know, I mean, you may be in a rush or urgent to need somebody to work for you, but you have to come up with a strategy of how do you assess their work. You know, how do you present to them what their tasks are, what you expect of them. You know what I mean? And how much time do you give them before you realize that they're fit for the job or not fit for the job. And you got to make that clear off the top. You know what I mean? In regular, they say you put people on probation, or they come in on probation after 6 months probation, 3 months probation, all that stuff. You got to make it clear. You know what I mean? I don't really tell people a timeline on probation, because people have a tendency to be good for that timeline, and then after that, then it's downhill. So I just tell them, every day you'll be assessed. Every day. I'm paying attention every day. And if I have to keep telling you the same thing over and over and over, that means you're not capable of grasping it, or you just don't care. If you have a problem grasping it, then this is not the job for you. If I have to keep telling somebody that the water bucket go in the corner or the pen, and every day I have to tell you that, and this is not your job, because you can't retain the little things. So how you have to deal with kidding if you can't remember, say, the water bucket goes in the corner. It doesn't go in the middle of the pen, it goes in the corner. And you guys are looking and say, what matter? I'm like, dude, you'll be amazed how many times in the past I've gone into the goat house and the bucket of water is just right there. And we have a thing when we say around here, say, common sense not too common. Because you saying to yourself, you're telling me that a man don't realize if he put the bucket in the middle of the pen, then I'm going to turn it over? No. It don't seem like he realized that, and he keeps doing it. And we come and correct him, and I've just start doing the thing. I don't go fix it. I call them and say, yo, see that? That's wrong. It needs to be done this way. Because if I correct it, them not learn nothing. If I just do it myself, it ain't fixing nothing. So you got to assess every day. And some of us don't have that luxury. We didn't have that luxury in the beginning to be here observing every day, any given time. I had to spend a lot of time on my phone watching cameras to see the holes, to see when things are falling off, and be able to jump on it. Get on the phone. Don't stop calling till somebody answer the phone. You know, and we had to go through those growing pains. You know, I don't know how much money we lose or wasted, or maybe in another term, it's just money spent learning how to deal with workers in this environment. Because when you're in a different environment and people are coming in with some qualification, you can actually back it up. You can call references, you can, but how you gonna do that here? Because everybody are gonna say, yeah man, we know how to do goat. You know, I mean a long time the man they deal with goat, man, what I say? You want them man they wicked pan walker. Them, you know what I mean? Everybody can tell you, yes, them man they good. But then when it comes down to it, in a structured program, a structured environment where things has to be done a certain way, a certain time to meet a certain goal, you realize, oh, a man just love cut grass, nothing else. You know, him just love use the weed whacker. We got one guy that help crews, him just love cut grass, him just love use weed whacker. You know, have no problem cutting grass. But if we're doing something, and I said, yo, Mali, you want to run the drill? Nope. You go on, man. You go on, man. I'm good, Miss Harry. I'm good. I didn't have that problem with Cruz. Cruz would quickly take it. If he don't know if he use it, he quickly take it. I don't want to use it. Because he was motivated. He want to learn new things. He want to figure out a new way to do it. How am I doing it? What makes my way of doing it more efficient than how him know it? You know? Him not stop asking me, oh, so why you think that doing it that way is more efficient? And I'm like, because everything that I ask you to do or we're gonna do, I see it from start to finish before we start. It's planned out. Everything, every single thing. From building the fence, me have the fence visualized on paper, everything before we start. Hence we had a conversation about the kidding pen, because I want to get him involved in the idea of planning something out, what goes into planning it out. Not just say, yo, we're going to build some kidding pen, let's start. No. How are we going to do it? Why we're doing it? What do we want it to look like? Okay, now we figure that out, what is going to be the cost? You know? And he was very helpful. So I think that's my spiel. I think that's my thing on workers. Let's have a discussion. Anybody who want to come on and talk about them experience, they're welcome to do that. Anybody got questions or comments? Let's keep them flowing, and I will read them out accordingly. Yeah, Cruz is not call him big man. Cruz is the I might come tomorrow and say, yo, you see him tell you I'm the big man. No. Actually, I was trying to get him to come on tonight, but he's scared of camera. He doesn't like camera. So, anybody have anything to say? Luke on Facebook said, a good presentation. My father was a farmer all his life. I've learned a few things from you. Bless up, Luke. Well, we're here to learn from each other, man. You know, and every time that something comes up that we think should be a good discussion, or I think we should address it, we're gonna present it. You know what I mean? Lincoln Weir and I had this discussion last week about workers. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Because we've had the same issues. So it's not unique to us. Everybody got their different challenges. People who live abroad and trying to run the operation down here, their challenges is a whole different beast. From the people who are on the ground and can make decisions right away. And it's crazy. It's amazing how the difference in being here on the ground and I have to be watching my phone when I'm in the US or Canada or another part of the world. You know what I mean? Because I can quickly get on the issue. But when I'm away, I'm at the mercy of them answering the phone. Yo, Mr. Man beat up on the camera and say a man check things on him phone and the same phone me I call. And the same phone me I call. And him there the pan camera I check him phone. Stand up there, check him phone. And I have to call the next man beside him. I say, yo, can you tell him say me I call him? And the man say, never realize say me I call him. And keep ignoring it. So if you guys have anything to say, yeah, so Frederick is saying, I believe we need to culture young persons, especially females, that this is where you will know who will be in it for the long haul. It's hard to take a big man and try cut him to build him back. That's true. You know what I mean? Them old people that I think we say you can't teach old dog new tricks. You know what I mean? They want to do things their way, and I'm going to tell you, Star, a long time I do this. I know how to do this. You know what I mean? And I've learned that sometimes what they're saying is not bad, but you can't depend on that when you're in an operation like ours, that you need data. You need real data to deal with what you have. You can't, a man just can't look on a goat and say, yo, your man, him look pregnant. Yeah, him pregnant, see. Him pregnant, man. How you know him pregnant? Yo, see him other and look away. Him pregnant, man. Trust me, him pregnant. No. Like, I'm not gonna take that. I need proof. Because if that goat's not pregnant, it needs to go in production. It needs to be bred. I'm not gonna take your word and say, yo, yeah, I'm pregnant, man, and then 5 months I'm not pregnant. No. I can't afford that because I will waste time and resources. Lincoln said we got all these schools, and I don't know what the schools approach. I know we had Dr. Deslanders on, but from my experience, those kids that leave the school, they come, and as I said, they want to hold a clipboard. We had one that came that's very memorable. I don't think him can live up at even a hammer. Like, I was shocked. I was like, yo, he really wants to be working on a farm, and him just like seriously very timid, and like him just want to type on a laptop. Seriously. And we tell him to come one day and shadow the youth them and see if there's something he want to do. I don't think he did much with them either, and then he left. We never hear from him again. I think he was here for the first half of the day, and him left. And then we didn't hear from him again. Nothing. So I'm not judging everybody by him, but I've heard enough people tell me that, they had this similar experience where people just want to have a clipboard, sit down on a desk, and issue orders and do things. I don't know. You know what I mean? So we have to change the culture, or let people, or I would say lead by example. You know what I mean? And for somebody like, for example, Cruz, I want to let people know that there's guys like Cruz out there, and you can find them. You know what I mean? You can't look for certain educational qualifications. It's more of a person. You know what's valuable to them, what is their mentality, what is their objectives in life. You know what I mean? That's what you gotta look at because they're young and a lot of them don't really know what their final thing is gonna be. But if they can go through this experience and find out say this is a passion or say it's not a passion, but they'll figure it out. But what's important is their commitment to what you're trying to achieve and their commitment to it. Yeah, Trudy just add me this note. Are they on a mission or are they here for a commission? So let's repeat that. They're on a mission or here for a commission. So yeah, so we know people come here just for collect a check and them not care because it doesn't matter how many times we talk about certain things to do with animals, them don't want no part of it. Them don't even stick around for a conversation about what we're doing next week. Like, when it comes to killing season, we move goats around. Goats that was going out to pasture, mothers going to pasture about the kid, we pull them. People who don't stick around to have that conversation with you. Let's say, okay, I'm having a conversation with your crew. Say, yo, come tomorrow. We're gonna go over the records. We're gonna keep back all the mothers they're gonna kill in November. Then the next youth that's working with crews, him just leave. Him don't stick around for that conversation. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And we're standing in the goat house and we say, okay, crews, tomorrow we have to go keep back all the mothers. We look out my youth there to sink a washing man and them thing a long time. I'm not interested in that conversation. And the conversation started while he was standing there. You know what I mean? But he's not sticking around because to him, our crews think that. Him don't want to know how we do it, why we do it. Because him just love cut grass. You know what I mean? So it's a challenge, but I think if we apply certain things to how we approach it, how we approach hiring someone, how we approach dealing with the person we hire, how we approach letting the person know that they're important and integral part of what you're doing, then you will reap the rewards. They will reap the rewards of what you're doing. You know what I mean? You grow with them. But you always got to know, you have to be brave enough to know when to cut, when to move on. You have to be brave enough. You know what I mean? And it's a thin line, you know what I mean? You want to show people that you care about them and, you know what I mean? But then you don't want to get too deep into it where you can't make the tough decisions, you know? You don't want to do that. You don't want to get all sentimental and, well, I can't do that because I'm this and I'm have two youth and I'm have a wife and I'm have this and like, no. You can't get too deep into it. You have to know the balance and find a nice diplomatic way to say, yo, you know what? It's not work out for me and you know. So we have to go a different direction. You know? Find a way to do it. One guy, as I said, he phased himself out. The other one, we just reassigned him to another project that he was comfortable with or most effective at. You know, him not have to worry about sick goat and giving medication and all them things. Him just have to worry about groundskeeping or whatever him do. Yeah. That's a film thing. You know, him can use a weed whacker, him can do some things, and him not have to worry about the health of an animal. Yeah, so I think, what is your take? What is my take on having a facility where the workers stay on the farm? There's plus and minus to that. It depends on your location. You know what I mean? If you're in a remote location where it's hard to get there, then it's beneficial to have people stay there, you know? Because if you don't have neighbors or you don't have regular taxi going by and all them things, then it's more reliable and more efficient to have them stay on the farm. You know, for us, taxi run past out there so regular, and right now we're not we're not comfortable having people stay on the farm. You know, because I don't know, I'm just not comfortable. There's no because it's just not we're not comfortable. You know, we don't trust people that much. So, but if we were in a remote area and that was not even a question, then we would have to develop a trust factor to let them stay on the farm. You know what I mean? We'd have to come up with some more, um, what do you call it? When you supervise people or surveillance tactics or protocols in order to manage that. Because when people stay up on the farm, you know, and you know there, why? All kinds of things can go on. You know, especially men. Because they might bring all kinds of people come there. Man I come check them and hang out. Different women. Yeah, it's crazy. How do you determine how much a worker is paid on a goat farm? Well, that's just that is depends on the operation. You know what I mean? You can structure it in many ways. You can structure it with a sheer profit basis. You can structure it as you know, bonus where after they get bonus after weaning or a Christmas time or whatever you do. You know what I mean? For us, we based it on the operating cost of the farm and how much we can produce and what percentage can go towards um, paying workers. That's why it's so important for us to get like maximum efficiency and production when people are here working, because the other mans used to just run out the clock, you know, and we weren't getting ahead. We weren't getting things done. We weren't getting troughs built. We weren't getting fences repaired. We're not moving forward. We're just stagnant. You know, things that we should have gotten done a long time was just still sitting there. I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna start carrying down my own equipment. I start doing like the coat lounge. Do that myself. Took the man forever to frame up the roof. Forever. I will have pictures. I'll show you guys how long it took him to frame up the roof. After I told them way in advance that this is what we're doing. I just got fed up. You know, and it wouldn't have started if I didn't spend evening time going digging holes myself, but planting the post them. You know, it wouldn't have got even started. Ray, how do you keep yourself growing as it relates to learning how to deal with people? Whew. That's a good question because sometimes it's hard. What I do is we do a lot of educational research, like watch people that, you know, those motivational people or those people who gives you top 10 ways to handle workers, top 10 ways to do this and that. We find these people who are experts or quote unquote experts, or that's what they get paid to do, and they just give up these free gems. You know what I mean? Darren Daly, you know what I mean? He's one of them. Then we got this guy, John Fortier, who that's um, a big market garden in Quebec, and we watched some of his free webinars that he puts out on how to deal with workers and how he structures his day with the workers. You know, Curtis Stone, all them people. We just watch them. We don't have cable TV. You know, although I need to get cable because football season start. But yeah, you know what I mean. We watch a lot of those things and figure out how do these people operate their successful operation. You know what I mean? How can a man have 2 acre land and be turning over $250,000 US dollars in a year? What is he doing that I can learn from? You know, and it's all about efficiency and dealing with people, structuring it, holding people accountable, and not taking things personal and not be all up in your feelings and you know judging, good judge of character, good assessment skills, and that stuff you can learn. The stuff you can practice. You know how to take a deep breath when a man offend you. You know, think before you answer. Think before you respond to a man's smart ass comment. You know, hold that whole thing that yo, you're the boss, so operate like the boss. Although you don't love for those thump a man that mouth. No, I'm being real. You know what I mean? Like sometimes some things are said or some actions, and you're like, yo, man, I just want to squeeze him right now. But you have to turn it around and say, okay, so this is gotta be a teaching moment. What do I do here? You know, walk away and come back or redirect the conversation. You know, um, I know one thing, and there's a thing. I'll keep it real with you guys. Cruz loves to debate with me. Love to have a debate. And sometimes I just gotta put my foot down and say, Cruz, this is not a discussion. This is a directive. I'm not even asking your opinion. I'm telling you this is what we're gonna do. And I just walk away. And then you just realize, say, okay, today's not the day. You know? Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Sometimes I entertain this discussion, I learn something, but sometimes I just want to get things done and I don't want to discuss it. I don't want to have, I already vetted myself. I know what it's going to be. I know what it should be. And it's not an extra cost thing. It's just how we're going to do it. And I'm not going to debate it any further. Like, we had that last one was last week with the electric fence that I run up the thing. And I'm like, dude, we're not going to discuss it. Dude, I know what it's going to be. And we're just going to start doing it. Because he was just trying to, what do you call it, procrastinate. Or he just felt like, oh, I'm going to bug him today. I just tell him what it is and walk away. And when I came back, I just start talking to the next youth. I just start telling the next youth what we're going to do and ignore him. And that's where he got the idea that, yo, you know what? Yes, he's serious. He's not joking. Yeah, because you just got to figure it out. Figure out how to approach it, how to deal with it, and don't get sucked into unnecessary things. You know, and trust me, I'm guilty of getting sucked in and be all up in my feelings sometimes. But it's a learning process, you know. You see it, you acknowledge it, you learn from it, and try to get better at it. You know, and when you're on the front line dealing with them, you gotta be, some thick skin and some, patience and breathing tactics because it's easy to jump in and do it yourself. But what good is that gonna do for the operation if you jump in and do it yourself? Yeah, enough time I feel like just jump in and just do it because it's easier. But I take a deep breath and say, yo, let's try that again. Let's do it this way. Because if I jump in and do it, nobody will learn nothing. Nobody will learn anything. I don't even fix them problem with the things that they miss. If them do a bush me till them come back and call them and say, yo, see this? We needed to do it this way. Because if I do it, them not learn. I don't know if he's there. If he's there, you need to give me a thumbs up. Or you can give me a thumbs down if Cruz is on. Which him like come and say I don't like what I say. He promised he would be on to this evening, but he didn't commit to coming on live. I don't know if he's here. Hey, be careful what you ask for. You may not have the personality to deal with Cruz. You know, you may not have the personality to deal with Cruz. You gotta make sure you have the personality to deal with somebody who thinks. Yeah, and he's not up for. You can't have Cruz. I don't know where he is. I'm gonna tell Trudy to call him and see if him there Gal Bush. He has this thing about going to Gal Bush. I don't know where that is. Can somebody tell me where Gal Bush there? I'm trying to find it. Is he on?
Don't see
him. Well, I think that's gonna be it. I don't see him. Truly don't see him on. And you wanna call him? I see where he is. And tell him that the masses want to hear from him. He is so scared of camera. Like Khalil was here doing a taping thing one time, and I'm like, you gotta ask Cruz how it works. Cruz will explain to you. And Cruz like a deer in a headlight. He was like stuttering, like tripping over his words, and I'm like, what the hell's going on with him? Camera turned on, and he was like scared. You know what I mean? Like and that's why I think he doesn't want to come on live. He may be hiding, watching and hiding. But no answer? Yeah, he may be hidden on the live and not answering the phone because he doesn't want to come on. But yeah, we appreciate Cruz. We value Cruz service, and you know, we're blessed to have Cruz. Like enough time we sit down and say, yo, you know, realize how things are just moving along, and we're not stressed about getting things done in a timely manner, because he is efficient. You know, every morning we have a 8:05 meeting and a 1:05 meeting after lunch. The 8:05 meeting is about what we need to get accomplished today, what we need to pay attention to. And then 1:05 meeting is like, yo, was there any issues this morning we need to address, and let's get to the afternoon tasks. Sometimes they last 5 minutes, sometimes they last 10, 20 minutes. It all depends on what's going on. But every day we have that. Every day. Even if we're not there, we're calling at 1:05 or 8:05, we're calling and say, yo, what's up? This is what's going on today. So that's another important thing that you guys should communicating and making sure, as I said, every day, making sure people understand what their objectives are. And even if the day before you said, oh, tomorrow we're going to do X, Y, Z, but overnight something else comes up, then that morning you have the opportunity to switch it up, you know, and explain why you're switching it up. You know what I mean? Because it's life, you know, and you're dealing with people's life, and people are dealing with your life and your livelihood. And just like how treat a man how you want to be treated, with respect, and everything would work itself out. You know, finding good workers is a challenge. It's a real thing. Like we say in Toronto, it's a real thing. Um, it's a and Jamaica is not a normal place, so it's the things what I hear comes out of people's mouth when it comes to workers and what workers come here and expect. I'm like, seriously, you know, and it's just amazing. And trust me, I know people say them can't find work, them don't want to get up for go do the work. You know what I mean? I got trees cut down and laying in a bush and can't get a man to commit to come cut it up. And him only saw a film job and that him say a film hustle, and he will not commit to come cut up the wood. Him not, and it's not like him a come cut up the wood on consignment or something. Him cut up the wood and get him money one time. But him not commit to me if you come do it X day or whatever day. Him not commit to it. And it still sit on there. So sometimes it's not because you can't find good workers, it's because the man them don't want to do the real work. You know, there's a thing that they keep talking about. What is it? Not day work. Is day work?
Day work and job work.
A day work and job work. Can somebody explain to me what the difference is? Because I'm struggling to understand the difference. Somebody want to type it or want to come on and explain to me the difference between day work and job work. Maybe it's a different terminology that I'm not familiar with. So can somebody tell me? Yeah, you can say, yeah, when him not have no money, I'll come cut it. Yeah, me know. Well, you know, him will tell me, say, yo, me go and come cut it for you, but guess what? Me not have taxi money, you know, you want to give me the taxi money and then me come cut it. Yeah, that's him will do, yes. Yeah. And then me have to pay the taxi, me have to buy the gas, and him come cut it. And him just make a money and move. What one of your major goals or moves for the future? I think our number one goal is to get our milk enterprise up and running in 2021. Seriously. Like, no joke, serious. But I have nothing else to say about it more than it's a must, you know, because it's been on the back burner too long. You know what I mean? Okay, so Marsha says job work, day work, you get paid certain amount each day to build the roof, no matter how long it takes. And then job work, you get paid to build the roof. Oh, so day work is where them run out the clock. Okay. Wow. Interesting. So that you have to really think about how you hire people to even do certain projects, because a job work is you just have to say to a man and say, yo, how much for do that? Yeah. I think we're up on our second hour, so we should call it a night. And 25 episodes. I don't know who have a drink, but my drink is all watered down. The ice is melted. But thank you guys for your support. And next week, we're still going to be here. I don't know who we have confirmed for next week yet, because, you know, we're trying to line them up way in advance. And sometimes, I'll be honest, it's difficult because a weekend like this is a long weekend and people ain't committing nothing on a long weekend. And sometimes it's hard to have them commit, you know. But we're trying, and if we don't get somebody, then we do it ourselves. You know, it's that simple. But we appreciate you guys tuning in nonetheless. And I appreciate everything that you guys bring to the table. On behalf of myself, Trudy, and the Cabra Ranch team, big respect. Bless up to everybody. Happy Heroes Weekend. And I'm wearing pink in honor of Breast Cancer Month. So I think everybody should take a moment and say some prayers or give pour a drink or whatever you do for the people who are struggling or fighting or surviving breast cancer. You know, so big respect to all the females who have fought it, know somebody who fought it, know somebody who, you know, didn't survive it. It's a real struggle. The struggle is real. So that's it for us tonight. I am gonna call it a night and drink some more drinks, turn up the radio. I think one of them stations is having some Heroes party. So they gonna play some of my type of tune them. Funny story. Julie went out and I had the stereo, because when Julie's not here, I put the speakers for the stereo at the window and blast it outside so me and Cruz and them can have a one little party when Julie's not here. So this evening we're playing like some serious dancehall music, like new dancehall. But it was a radio, some mixture. And Cruz is like, yo, Mr. Ray, you know when you play them type of thing there all the time, it's like that. I'm like, it's a radio. I'm like, the radio? The Julie comes, same question. She hear me turn it down, so it wasn't offensive. And she's like, what are you playing? I'm like, it's a radio. She's like, the radio playing all that? I'm like, yes, it's a radio. So I don't remember what name it is. I think it's Area FM or not Area FM, Fame FM or one of them. But I hear them advertising during that whole time today that they have a Heroes party tonight. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna turn it on and see whether I'm going with before I go to bed. So bless up everyone, and Marshmallows, big up. It's the late. These late people. Can't help you. You have to take the time and watch this, because I dropped some dimes apparently. All right, folks. Thank you all, and see you guys next week. And give thanks again. Happy Heroes Weekend.